Hello and welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, site to Nashville Superspeedway, and the elimination round for the round of 12 of the Hooters NRSL Hooters series. On the pole today, a guy who should have chosen the Dodge for his chase scheme because he's gotten more success in this Dodge, Kyle Matthews. Starting alongside of him is Hiroshi Kazuyoshi. Row number 2 sees Max Newworth and Mason Neal, with row 3 being Sky Commons and Sam Young. Row 4, Jay Stella and Matt Duncan. And row number 5, Alex May and Jerry Shelley. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Kyle Collins and Stephen Paul III, they have already clinched a spot into the round of 8, even if one of the bottom 4 drivers in points were to win today. That is the good news for them. Charles Sanford comes in third, Time Pollard fourth, Alex May fifth, Max Newer sixth, Chris Louvier seventh, and Sky Commons round out the top 8, with the bottom 4 being William Duncan, Maxwell Chan, Henry Powers, and Preston Plord. For Sanford, the regular season points leader, he'll have to finish 25th or better if one of those bottom 4 drivers wins to actually clinch a spot. Time Pollard will be 16th or better, Alex May is 10th, Newworth 9th, and Louvier 8th.
Drivers, start your engines. Is that okay?
Okay then. We have that command. Our 8 onboard cameras today. We will start with the drivers who have already clinched a spot. Kyle Collins carrying the Chevy onboard. Stephen Paul III carrying the Mountain Dew onboard camera. Charles Sanford, the Dodge onboard camera. Alex May, the Coast Guard onboard camera. Max Newworth, the Geico onboard camera. That's not one of our onboards. Chris Louvier, the Discount Tire onboard. Sky Commons, the Dollar General onboard camera. And finally, William Duncan carrying the Ford onboard camera. Whoops. I thought he was starting farther up. Pace car is off. Field under control of the 38 of Kyle Matthews. And we are green for Nashville Superspeedway for 38 laps. Great start there by Kyle Matthews, getting out to a decent lead, about a car length there over Max Newworth, who clears for second. Battle already on for third, 3 wide. Sky Commons, Mason Neal, and Kazuyoshi. That was not where I think Sky Commons wanted to put himself lap 1, but he did so, and it worked out for him pretty well. Somewhat. Now he's going to be battling with Matt Duncan as the battle is still on for third, and there's 3 wide in the back. At least were. Back of the picture. And yeah, they are 3 wide here. Eric Powers, Card Pollard, coming off a top 5 finish last week. And they settled it down to 2 wide. We got the 2 great clip cars this week. Good thing there's one's a Chevy, one's a Dodge. That'll help me out a little bit. Sky Commons thought about putting it in the middle, decides better of it as Kazuyoshi makes it 3 wide with Jerry Shelley and Marcus Bruno. Top 4 have gone single file. Bruno gets out of it going into turn number 1. Chris Washer makes the move underneath Shelley and will get the run off the corner and go underneath Kazuyoshi here for the top, sorry, that's for 5th. Said for the top spot, I'm sorry. Ben Newer slides up the track in the 32. They're 3 wide off turn number 4 once again. William Duncan in the 3 wide situation as well there for a moment. Will throw his car in there. Maxwell Chan's going to make it 3 wide. Kazuyoshi gets the short end of the stick there. Still 3 wide here with Marcus Bruno and Ben Newer. Time Pollard in that mess. Meanwhile, back up front, top 5 are single file now, as Maxwell Chan and William Duncan clear for position there, and Sam Young, Preston Plord also coming up through here. So the question's going to be, when do these guys start battling up here, or do they just ride around? Newworth not in any pressure. Ninth or better will clinch him a spot in the next round no matter what. And it's even worse, less than that, because right now Kyle Matthews, a non-chaser, is leading. Well, I say non-chaser, but an eliminated chaser. That's actually a better way of putting it. Alex May up here too. He's not in any pressure. 10th or better for him. And again, Kyle Matthews leading makes that chase scenario even go down in position. So, although then again I say that, and there was a tie for 8th in this series as well. That was Duncan and Commons. So, Matt Duncan though makes the move for 2nd, and Alex May to 3rd, passing Max Newworth. As Preston Plord gets around Maxwell Chan. And field getting single file pretty quickly. Stephen Paul III, Kyle Collins, they've clinched their chase spot. They're back here. So too is Charles Sanford in 33rd position, last scored. Not a very good spot for the 9 car to be. They're not anywhere safe entirely. So as Sky Commons, I noticed he has fallen way back. He started up in the top 5 and is now back in 28th spot as they last scored, getting passed by his teammate Jonathan Zorline in the 77. So move him back now to the 29th position. And Commons will try and get 28th back from Newworth, I think. Yeah, he will. He's going to look for it at least. So the battles are strong back here outside the top 10. William Duncan's going to lose a couple spots. One to Preston Plord and one to his other teammate, Maxwell Chan now. So back to 9th for the 6th car. Here comes Zach Kreller making a move. Not going to clear him though. Meanwhile, we've got a new leader. Matt Duncan now leads at Nashville. And Max Newworth going for 3rd. Chris Washer has caught the top 4. And we said, when would these guys start kind of getting single file? Well, that's about when, and then they start battling again. So Washer now looking for 3rd. Can he get the drive into turn number 3? Newworth getting the drive off, but Washer will clear, and here comes Alex May back to the inside now for 4th. Meanwhile, Preston Plord is going to try and take advantage of this. He's gotten 6th away from the 64, and he's going to grab 5th away from the 4. Preston Plord feeling the pressure, almost feeling like it's a must-win. He's 81 points out of the 8th position on when they started the day. He could use a good run, needs to get up there and lead some laps if possible to be able to try and advance to the round of 8. Maxwell Chan now grabs 7th away as we've seen a lot of chases up here. Time Pollard's up here now in the top 10. As Chris Washer is going to grab 3rd away from the 21 of Alex May. Preston Plord might try and take advantage of that as well. Might be good for him to try and take advantage of that, I should say. And he will take advantage of it. Preston Plord now to 4th. And on back-to-back days, we're seeing the driver that came in with the most to gain and basically nothing to lose going for it here. Now to 3rd for Preston Plord in the 16. Alex May now going to try and grab 4th back from the 59, and Newworth's going to try and grab 6th, or 5th away, I mean. Now can Plord gap the 21 is going to be the question. Kind of is. And hey, Preston Plord with the 2nd quickest lap of the day right now. As caution has come out, and we've got a wreck on the front straightaway involving Mason Neal, Ben Newworth, and Henry Powers, one of the chasers. Matt Dixon involved. Jonathan Zorline with damage. Racing back to the line are the leaders. There'll be Matt Duncan leading, Kyle Matthews, Preston Plord, Alex May, and Max Newworth, the top 5. And night is over for Ben Newworth. Stephen Paul III's got damage in the 57 car. Not going to mean a whole lot in terms of the playoffs, but it is key as Pollard will come to the pit lane. Already has clinched a spot in the round of 8, but hey, I mean, it's spots for people, so if he does retire. That's 2 guys down, and the leaders are pitting behind him. Here comes Matt Duncan leading the field down onto pit lane. Seen a couple guys already fall out of the race there. I'm looking to see, does anyone actually stay out, as there's a smoke. Is that Ben Newart that they're passing right there? I think that is. It looks like every single car on pit lane here for this. Mason Neal is out of the race. You see the pit sign down, so that's going to be an easy in for, or an easy out or something for someone. Looks like that was Newart that's got behind him. Pit strategy on pit lane, though, is going to put Preston Plord into the top spot. And contact on pit lane. Kreller hits someone on the way out of his pit box. Kazuyoshi still coming into his. And it will be Preston Plord leading at Nashville. Let's take a look back at what happened to bring out the caution. And we're back. Here's where the original wreck started. Stephen Powell III going to get into the left rear of Matt Balding down into Jay Stella's car. Balding's going to be able to continue. It's Pollard who's going to get turned. Up the track he goes right into the 77 of Jonathan Zorline. There's Matt Dixon getting involved. Heavy hit there. Big lick for Henry Powers. Mason Neal getting involved. And Ben Newart, unfortunately, also just going to have nowhere to go either. So we have a couple of onboards there in the vicinity. Let's take a look at what some of them saw here. Onboard Stephen Powell III. And actually, I was wrong. Stephen Powell III, the only one that we had that actually drove through that wreck. So let's go back to the restart now. And we are back, lights out on the pace car as we're working lap number 18. Mason Neal, Ben Newart, and Matt Dixon, the only retirees from this race, meaning no one has clinched a spot into the chase, or into the next round, I mean. Preston Plord is the leader. Matt Duncan is second. Kyle Matthews third. Max Newart fourth. Charles Sanford with pit strategy somehow works his way into the top 5. Alex May 6th, Jordan Davis 7th, Zach Kreller 8th, Chris Washer 9th, and William Duncan the top 10. Stephen Powell 3rd, there you see him 1 lap down. There's Powers at the back of the field. Kyle Collins 21st, Louvier 18th, Time Pollard in 16th, Maxwell Chan 14th as well, the other chaser positions, as the green flag's back out. And there you see how far off the pace the 77 and the 57 look like they are going to be, as evasive action having to be taken now. Chris Washer gets a spot out of it though, as Zorline holding up chasers William Duncan and Time Pollard here. And this could be troublesome. Now they get the 77 out of the way. 57 also gotten rid of somewhat. 77 still holding people up on the outside line now. That's Maxwell Chan right behind him. Losing ton of ground there on the outside line is Maxwell. And Sky Common's going to use his teammate as a pick to get by fellow chaser Maxwell Chan. Chan trying to get there, not going to, and we'll go back up to the leaders now. Just to see how this is going. Preston Plord has gapped Kyle Matthews by half a second. Newer third, Sanford now in fourth, and Alex May is going to go to 5th position, passing Matt Duncan. And we were talking about at the beginning, the chase clinching scenario was if a bottom 4 driver won. Preston Plord was the bottom 4 driver. He was 12th. So let's see how this can go. Powers is off the pace, so that's going to be, he was 11th in points coming in. That's basically going to be his chase contention over. And then really with the fact that Plord is leading. How much of a risk does Sanford want to take running top 5? Does he want to just kind of take it easy and try and advance where he's running right now? As Alex May's going to make a peek for 4th here now underneath. These two been dominant over the season right now. If we had no playoffs, these two would be top 2 in the points. Alex May a distant 2nd, but they would be top 2 in points. As I see William Duncan making moves now. That's Chris Louvier that he's inside, who has damage to the right side of his car, has gone the wall at some point tonight. And Duncan, I think, just kind of working his way back on by after getting held up early on. Time Pollard also making that move. Now Kyle Matthews starting to close the gap back down as Powers goes off into turn number 1. Yeah, that's exit of 2 right there. So they'll catch up to him before the end of this race, as Kyle Matthews, now doing the chasing, starts to close back in on the 16 of Preston Plord. And Plord definitely not going to be too easy to pass here, I think. Plord knows what he has to do. He's got to think win or go home, because 81 points is not an easy thing to make up. The easiest scenario for him is to win. Neuwirth right now distant 3rd. Sanford cleared for 4th now, as it's Jerry Shelley in 6th, Matt Duncan 7th, Dylan Young 8th, Zach Kreller 9th, and Amanda Shelley the top 10. Dylan Young now makes the move on Matt Duncan, so whatever adjustment they might have made on that 50 car, not going well for them tonight. As Kyle Matthews just continues to fall in the tire tracks, and we saw him right there. There's the 90. They're closing up to him. They'll catch up to him within the next about lap or two. Does the 90 end up holding up the 16 and the 38 in any way possible? Does he do that? The answer is going to be a yes. He holds up Preston Plord for just a split second as they go through the corner. Plord, though, will clear as they come off the corner. Alex May has gone around the 9, as well as the 23, as Sanford now loses a couple spots. Back to about the 7th position. He'll lose 3 spots there off turn number 4. Max Neuwirth clears the 90. Now can Alex May get to the inside of the 90 before the turn number 3? Yes, he will. That will help both the 23 and the 5 get around the 90. Now are they catching anyone else? The next one they will catch is the 77 of Zorline, who is right now midway down the back straightaway. Kyle Matthews just ran his quickest lap of the race, but lost ground to Preston Plord, as Dylan Young now goes to 4th position. Alex May way up the track. Sanford to his inside and will make a move, as Alex May now will lose about 4 or 5 spots there. Now it looks like Preston Plord's car got to where it was so quick in that last run, now pulling away a little bit again on the 38 of Kyle Matthews, as there are less than 10 to go at Nashville Super Speedway. Can Preston Plord hang on to complete the upset that he basically needed to survive? Sanford tried to look inside of Dylan Young, unable to get the pass done, so he'll have to settle for 6th spot right now. As right now Zorline into 3, Plord off of 2, they're a straightaway behind him. Now Kreller makes the move on Charles Sanford, this for 6th. Dylan Young with a dive bomb effort on the 23 of Jerry Shelley for 4th. As Kreller makes the move on the 9, May now back to the inside will try and take advantage, as Amanda Shelley will also make the move on the 9 car. Alex May inside of the 99 is going to make it inside of the 9 as they come off turn number 2. Back up to the leaders as they should be, I was going to say they should be getting ready to catch the 77. Just a handful of laps to go. 6 to go as they cross the stripe. We'll go on board the 4 of Max Neuwirth as we try and watch the battle for the lead. Let's see, did the gap... Oh, well, they're going to catch him this lap. Kyle Matthews lost just a couple hundredths there. As Zorline's going to impact Plord's turn 2 exit. Not going to be too much ground given up there by Plord. Or was there? Kyle Matthews with a full head of steam able to clear the 77 a lot easier, but lost some ground in turns 3 and 4 as they catch up to Stephen Paul III with just under 5 to go. 0.2 of a second the differential that time around, back to within 0.3 for Kyle Matthews. The freecreditreport.com Ford with the driver probably very nervous behind the wheel, trying to hang on. 3 to go at the stripe. This time by, they're still closing in on the 57 of Stephen Paul III. A couple hundredths that time for Kyle Matthews. As it looks like they'll catch the 57 this time by. Where are they going to catch him? Down the back straightaway they come. Plord's going to be able to make the move into 3. Did that impact his exit at all? As Kyle Matthews definitely impacted his exit there. Getting around wow. Jerry Shelley had to pit. The 23 car had to pit. And now with 2 to go, our pit stop's going to become a factor. Does Plord have to pit? No, he doesn't. Neither does Kyle Matthews. Dylan Young has to pit with 2 to go. Charles Sanford has to pit as well as Maxwell Chan. The playoff implications as Max Newart gets held up by Stephen Paul III. And Kyle Matthews on the final lap losing ground to the 16. Who goes into turns 3 and 4. He was 12th in the points coming in, top 8 advance, but the win for Preston Plord will mean it doesn't matter. Plord will advance to round of 8 and win at Nashville. Kyle Matthews comes home second. Neuwirth third. Amanda Shelley fourth. Jeff James fifth. Zach Kreller sixth. Matt Duncan seventh. Alex May in 8th, Jessica Shelton 9th, and it will be Matt Balding 10th. Charles Sanford now still going to have to try and get around to the line. Never mind, that's it. Race is over for him. 39th place, two laps down. What? Either way, Preston Plord will lock his way into the round of 8 with the win. We went over the top 10. Other chasers today, where they finished: William Duncan 15th, Sky Common 17th, Chris Louvier 26th, Time Pollard 27th, Maxwell Chan 32nd, Collins 35th, didn't really matter for him, Pollard 37th, Charles Sanford ends up 3 laps down in 39th place. And then no chasers out of the race. With that, that will wrap up Nashville and the round of 12 for the NRSL Hooters series. I don't know where we're going next. Whoops. Oh well. I'd like to thank you for watching. Congrats to Preston Plord on clinching his way into the round of 8. And I'll see you next time.